This video covers the math buildup concept of the least common denominator, or the LCD. Alright, so let's go over some definitions, and let me use this mouse pointer as a pen. So the least common denominator is the lowest value that is a multiple of two or more denominators. It's similar to the least common multiple, except you're using the denominator of fractions to find your least common multiple. Alright, so that's a lot of definitions. Let's go over some of them. So, like we said, the least common denominator is the lowest value, that's a multiple of two or more denominators. It's two or more because we need numbers to compare. So in this example, it says the least common denominator of 1/3, 1/4, and 5/6 is 12, because 12 is the least common multiple of 3, 4, and 6. And we get our 3, 4, and 6 from the bottom of our fraction. So the 3 is here, 4 is here, and the 6 is here. And we note that a fraction is made up like this. So a fraction has a numerator at the top and a denominator at the bottom. So what's important for us in doing the least common denominator is this number at the bottom, or the denominator. In order to figure out what our least common multiple is for our denominator number, we have to know what a multiple is. So multiples are numbers that result from multiplying a whole number by a set of whole numbers. So it's like having 1 times 0, 1 times 1, 1 times 2, and so on. The least common multiple is the lowest non-zero number that is a multiple of two or more numbers. Alright, so some facts to know. Finding the least common denominator, or the LCD, which is what we're dealing with right now, is similar to finding the least common multiple, or the LCM, except you're doing it for fractions instead of whole numbers. So when you're doing your least common multiple, you just have numbers like 1, 2, and 3, and you're finding the multiples of them. But with the least common denominator, you have fractions like 1/2, 1/4, 1/3, and you're only finding multiples of the denominators to see which one they have in common. So you're only concerned with this part at the bottom. So all you need to do is find the least common multiple of the denominators, and your answer will be the least common denominator. So let's do an example. What is the least common denominator of 1/6 and 1/9? So the part that's important for us is the 6 and the 9. So we have a 6, and we have to find the multiples of 6 and the multiples of 9. Let's do that. So let's see. Multiples of 6 are 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. And let's do the first couple of multiples for 9. So 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. So now we need to look at both of our numbers and find out what is the smallest number that both have in common. And right now, that's not 0. So cross out the zeros, we can't use those. Those are not in common, but 18 is in common. So the least common denominator for 1/6 and 2/9 is 18. Hope that helps.